guys! Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Tipsy. Do you have to say that all the time in every video? But anyway guys, I've already been used to saying this every time I do a video on my channel. But yeah, will you forgive me? So for this video, I will be fulfilling one of the most requested contents for my YouTube channel. So a lot of you are doing personal messages, sending personal messages on my Instagram. Kala mo sikat eh, no? And asking me to do this particular video. So in this video, I finally decided to make a series of videos that will be explaining the reasons, the options, the tips on how you can be able to study, work, or live in Japan if you're currently thinking about that. So if you are on the verge of, deciding whether you want to go here or not, this video is going to be for you. But if you're not, then you can skip this video and just watch my other series that I'm doing side to side. It's the year series, so you can also watch that and help me. Just kidding. But anyway guys, so I will be sharing with you my tips. So there are a lot of options, there are a lot of ways for you to be here, but I will just be sharing and focusing on the route that I took before I worked here in Japan, before I went here in Japan. So at least you will have an insight on my kind of route, and if you are still having difficulties deciding, you can check other people's and compare, the easiest way. But of course, I'm gonna be sharing with you the easiest way. So anyways, let's start. So there are a lot of reasons for you to go in Japan. First, you want to experience life here, you go here for a vacation. You have a family member here, you go here to visit a relative. If you want to continue your studies for masters, you can have student visa. Or you want to study the language, you can also have a student visa. Or you straight want to work here, of course you can directly get a working visa. So there are a lot of ways. But in this series of videos, we will be focusing on the most easiest, and that is to enter a school or university in Japan. So why is it the easiest, guys? With a Japanese employer, for example, you wanted to work here in Japan directly, right away gusto niya na, pwede na ako magtagalog gusto niyo na agad mag-work here, you have to find a Japanese employer on your country. For example, you are in the Philippines, hanap ka ng Japanese employer. But the thing is, even if you were already able to find a Japanese employer, it doesn't mean they will send you right away in Japan. You have to wait 5, 6. How many people in the company are willing to go to Japan to experience life here? And you will be competing with these people that are probably years older than you in the company. So it's really difficult. They're fresh hiring, but it's really hard. It's costly. Why? Because they will require you to speak Japanese, and you will have to study Japanese for a number of years. And again, guys, you want to go here because you want to learn the language. So if you learned it in the Philippines, I don't know. For me, guys, this is just a tip for me. If you want to learn Japanese, it's better to learn it in Japan because you will use it firsthand. You will practice with real Japanese. You will use the language with real Japanese. In the Philippines, you study it in the school, you use it with your professors, but after going home, it's practically useless, right? For example, you have a family member here. This is also one of the easiest. So they will invite you, they will sponsor your stay here, they will sponsor everything about you, they will submit your documents. The thing is, guys, if you will be able to find a work while you are visiting a relative, or for example, you are traveling, you have to go back to your country again. But, tulad nga na sinabi ko, guys, there is yes. That's not an easy route. Why? You go back to the Philippines, you process papers, you pay for your expenses. Kung mayaman ka, it's fine. Kung hindi, diba? Yon ang problema. So, that is the reason why we only have one option. And this is also the option that I did. I have a family member here. But the thing is, guys, I already predicted that it will be harder for me to change my visa if I started with family relative, visiting a family visa, or with a tourist visa. It will not be a direct change of visa because I have to go back to the country, to the Philippines. And I don't want to do that because I'm scared of the airplanes. So like, I've decided to apply. Even if I have a family member here, I applied individually for a student visa. So that is why my case is a little unique, that I can relate to a lot of people. Because although when I went here, I stayed with my family members, I still processed all of my documents on my own. So it means that I was the person who showed my financial abilities to the visa, what do you call this, processing office. I was the one who filled out the forms. I did not really require somebody to share with me some of the documents. So I'm guessing that you are also thinking about that because you wanted to personally apply for a visa for this particular reason. And the number one tip that I will want to give you is you choose to study in a Japanese language school. Okay? If you are a graduate of a university and you studied for more than 12 years, you can directly apply for a college, a university, or vocational school in Japan. So let's say, nag-decide na kayo, gusto ko talagang pumunta sa Japan. So, tara na! Ituloy na natin tong video na to. So, okay. So, gusto nyo mag-study dito. The tip that I will want to give you guys, because tip is go to a Japanese language school. There are a lot of benefits why you will want to stay or work or study in a Japanese language school. First, you will be taught of the language. This is not an English-speaking country, guys. It will be hard for you to just live by using English. You have to learn the language. So that's plus one. You live here and learn their language. It's also a good opportunity for you guys to experience firsthand life in Japan. What your future would be if you decide to stay here for a longer term. Next, it's so good. Eto guys, alam ko lahat tayo pare-pareho ng iniisip. Gusto nating pagandahin yung resume or curriculum vitae. And guys, mind you lang Japanese employers prefer people who are responsible and willing to learn. So pasong-paso na yung sinasabi natin sa interview na I'm willing to learn. I have a lot of things that I don't know, but I'm willing to learn. In Japan, that's very useful. So with a resume that says that you try to study Japanese even before you find a university, you find a work here, the employers will think that, he's willing to learn. Then they will be willing to sponsor your visa. Ganun lang kasimple yun. Fourth, of course, with the Japanese language, you will grow your network. There are a lot of people you will meet, international people, and it means that it can connect you with other people from different other countries. And mind you guys, it's one of the most fun things that I experienced. Because you cannot expect the unexpected. Like seriously, I mean, you can expect the unexpected. Mali ba yung sinabi ko? Like, there will be people from the countries that you did not really expect and you will be closer to them. There will be like gossip, something like that. It's just like how we live life. We do life when we were still studying. But a little bit more fun because you have a lot of things to share. And they will be having things to share with you as well. So it's a great communication. It's a great circle for you. So that will be experienced in a Japanese language school. And of course, it's a great experience. Wala na akong masabi doon So anyway guys, so yun. Japanese language school. So what are the things that you need to consider before you choose a Japanese language school? Very, very important guys is a budget. Napakahalaga ng budget guys. Kailangan lahat ng desisyon nyo before you go here will be aligned to how much you can afford it. Dahil guys, I already mentioned earlier, the cost of living in Japan is very expensive. For an international student like us, for a foreign student, it will be an average of 138 Japanese yen. The Philippine pesos, guys, that is almost 62,000 pesos. Diba? Napaka-expensive, including tuition fees. So could you just imagine how much financial statement you have to show just to prove that you will be financially capable of studying and working here? 300 Japanese yen. That is almost 180,000 Philippine peso. Ganun siya kamahal. So the budget will always be your primary consideration. I have this budget, then I can probably go here. If you have a family member here, that will be a different story. Because especially if they are living here for a long time, you can have free accommodation and you can share your living expenses, everyday expenses with them. So, syempre, ma-half pa yung probably living expenses nyo compared to an average, international student here in Japan. But I'm just thinking that you don't have a family. For example, you don't have a family here. So, you will shoulder everything yourself. So, you have to think about that. Again, guys, this 300,000 yen, this is not a guarantee that this is the amount that you have. This is just the safest amount that you should show to your visa processing office before you apply for a visa. Kasi they will really think that you are financially capable. And a lot of Japanese language schools will right away accept you because they will think that you can afford studying in their school and you can afford to live in Japan while studying in their school. So you have to prove that first before you apply to a Japanese language school. So let's say you already have the budget. Ito na ready mo na. Now, you have to choose the location. Guys, this is also connected to the budget. Again, guys, kapag pinili nyo ang major city, kunwari you are the Philippines, diba? Ang mahal-mahal sa Manila compared to other, cities. Like, for example, Laguna. City ba yung Laguna? Provinces. Diba, mura lang ng living expense. I don't know, kasi I lived in Manila. I cannot compare really. But I know that the cost of living in Manila is very expensive. It's the same way in Japan. If you choose to study in Tokyo, the amount of the monthly cost for you will be so much higher compared to average cities or normal cities here. Like, for example, Nagoya or Saitama. These cities that are not that popular but still a progressive city. So if you choose to study in Tokyo, 45,000 an average, rental fee there. So that will cost you 20,000 pesos already for just 1 month. Ang laking bagay na niyan sa isang buwan. Kasi wala pang water, electricity, and internet that you will also need. So if you decide, kunwari sa Chubu, Nagoya, Gifu, yung mga cities like that, the rental fees are just, half of the amount that you will pay if you study in Tokyo. And that will be a great help for you. Plus, of course, after 3 months, you can start your part-time job for 28 hours a week. So, diba? So, what I am telling you guys is that it's fun living in Tokyo, but you have to also search for a location that can be not in Tokyo, but at least a little near it if you really want to stay there. But in this current pandemic, do you really want to stay in a city with a lot of people? I'm currently living in Tokyo and I don't go out. So, like, seriously? Is that really what you want? So, choose the suitable city for your budget. So, again, budget, lumabas na naman kasi very important talaga, guys, that you have a budget. And of course, lastly, choosing your Japanese language school. So in the next video, I will be discussing how to choose your Japanese language school. So guys, if you are really, you are eager to really go here and you will do your best to do it, then I will encourage you to do it because it's really fun. That's how I will describe my first-hand experience when I first went here. First, it was fun because I have family members and I already have friends here, so we just met a few times during my first day. They brought me to different cities, everything. But guys, for you, for example, you don't have a family member and you will experience this firsthand with new friends, or if you love solo traveling, it will be a better experience, I just think, or you will just meet new friends. So if you are really, this is in your heart, this is a decision that you chose yourself, nobody really influenced you to do it, then I will encourage you to continue to to strive to stay here because it's a great experience for you. You can make this a gateway for you to go to other countries, or you can make this one of your memorable experiences in your life. So again, we will be discussing how to choose a Japanese language school in the next video. So thank you so much for watching my video. So sana na turuan ko kayo about the budget. Yan kasi yung pinaka-challenging part, you know. Alam nyo guys, I don't know if this is a public knowledge already, pero it doesn't really have to matter yung financial ability. Kasi pwede ka namang manghiram tapos ibalik mo na lang. Kung talagang maganda yung image mo Pero guys, isa pa to sa mga secret na sasabihin ko sa inyo. Pag meron kayong stable job in the Philippines, and suddenly, you decide to go here in Japan, and you show them that this is your monthly salary. And it doesn't matter kung gaano kalaki man yung salary nyo, kung minimum wage man yan, or talagang sobrang laki ng budget nyo, ng salary nyo. Alam nyo kung bakit? Because titignan nila that you have a reference. Nakikita nila na, nagtrabaho to ng maigi, nagtrabaho to with a stable job, and a stable salary, stable income. So malaki ang chance nyo rin na ma-approve for visa or ma-accept sa isang school. So don't worry about kailangan pala ng 300,000, wala akong ganun. Kasi di ba nga, kapag gusto mo isang bagay, maraming paraan. Manghiram sa family member or friends, papakita mo lang sa bangko mo na nagkaroon ka ng pera, hindi naman nila i-check yan kung kailan mo inilagay. Ititignan nila yung total ng pera mo doon. Secret lang natin yun titignan lang nila yung pera na nandun, tapos nakita nila na may financial abilities ka. Hindi na kangkenay, irrelevant na yan dahil nakalagay sa bangko mo na may pera kang ganito, then it's possible for you to study here. Or again, you will just show them that you have a stable job. I am not trying to, I don't want to offend people who are on the margin of unemployed, but if you are unemployed, it will be harder for you to find, a school that will accept you. But if you prove that you have a work before you decide to go in Japan, madali nang magkaroon ng visa. Don't worry. So, diba? Don't be stressed, guys. I will be helping you. I will be giving you more tips on this series of videos. So, thank you so much for watching. Masyadong maaba na naman itong mga sinabi ko. Sana may natutunan kayo. If you have any questions, feel free to comment it down below. So, you can also personally message me on Instagram. So, I have the Instagram and Twitter account on my banner. So, you can also check that out. But if you have other questions, concerns, whatsoever, suggestions for my channel, feel free to say it. I'm not gonna be offended. So, thank you so much, and I hope to see you again in my next video. Maraming salamat sa aking 50 followers. Thank you, and hope to see you again in my next video.